What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at Dragon Man. He's big, he's bad. I'm looking forward to getting this one open. So let's see what we've got going on. Let's check it out. As promised, today we'll be taking a look at Dragon Man. So let's see what we've got going on. Taking a look at the package, you can see this is a very sizable box. There is a lot going on here. You've got Dragon Man front and center on the box there. Fantastic Four and Dragon Man both at the bottom. Looking at the top, you can see the Fantastic Four up there. Flip it to the side, we get to see a good look at Dragon Man there. You get the Fantastic Four logo and the Marvel logo. On the other side, we do have the Marvel and Fantastic Four logos, and again repeating Dragon Man and the image there. On the back of the box, we get the Fantastic Four logo. The group is at the top. You've got a couple of images there of Dragon Man and some important information down at the bottom. Of course, it does lay it out for you there. He's got posable wings and a tail, and there is your blurb. Designed as a superpowered android, Dragon Man was imbued with life to battle the Fantastic Four until he broke free of his creator's control. For context, here is a look at a retro card up against this Dragon Man box. You can see some space at the top there, plenty of room on each side. The retro card fitting in there, leaving a lot around. I'm excited to get this out of here. Fresh out of the box. This thing he's looking cool, and I'm beautiful. It's massive. It is everything I wanted it to be, man. It's got such heft to it, such grandeur, really. It's going to tower over so many things and just look pretty epic in a display. The problem is finding that space in the display, but hey, that's a good problem to have, right? I'm good with that. Of course, you do get some extra hands, book, glasses, and an extra set of wings, right? So more open, a little bit closed. Again, that space is going to be an issue, but a good issue to have. So let's take a closer look. Moving in closer, we can take a better look at the design here. As I said, you get that sort of metallic finish over the scaling, which gives it some real life, and I gotta say, I'm a fan of that. Good wash up in here just to add some additional detailing, adding real depth into this figure, right? You can see these eyes in here. They've got this good red and yellow coloring going on. You even get an articulated beak there. You've got a little bit of wash into the wing just to add some depth of color back there. It's fascinating, man. It is something that we've waited, I think, over a year for at this point. One that a lot of people have been kind of clamoring for because the original Dragon Man was very hard to track down and definitely not at a reasonable price, right? So this launching that made-to-order system that Marvel Legends has been using, really good start, and really just a nice end to that campaign to finally have it in hand. We'll take a look without the wings and tail just to give you an idea of what you're working with, what it's going to look like coming straight out of the package. So you do get your ports for your wings there, and then you can see the tail will just pop on right here. No, it doesn't. Okay. That does not give you just reiterating point of articulation, the color that is going on here. So you can see a few shades of purple, a little lighter, a little darker. That metallic over top goes up into the neck, all around, giving those scales some additional life. Taking a look at the head sculpt, I already mentioned you can see that wash in there, just giving some depth to this head sculpt. We do just get the one, but you do have that articulated beak which allows you to choose your own adventure as far as the expression that you're going to get. Eyes do have that red and yellow going on, real dragon-like eye, right? I mean, he's an android, but it gives it some dragon-esque look. He's got a big head, that's right. Not a whole lot going on color-wise into the head here, but you can see some vein molded in there. The articulation, the head will look down. You can see just about touching the chest there. Head's only going to look up and back to right about there. You're limited a little bit by the size of the head when it hits the back, the trap area here. Otherwise, you do get some movement side to side. Plenty of movement around and some good rock in there. You do have this butterfly joint, so you can get plenty of movement back and forth. So you gotta like that. For such a big figure, it does have a good amount of range in that shoulder. Arms work all the way around. Upper bicep cut. Double jointed, pinless at the elbow. Nothing at the forearm, hinge at the wrist. You do have the upper diaphragm there, so that gives you a lot of rotation. You can see the gapping in there when you go too far back, and you'll see the same on the reverse side. But look at that range of motion, right? You get all this swivel in there for, again, a big character that does allow you a lot of mobility. You have an upper thigh cut. You are double jointed, pinless at the knee. Nothing at your calf. Hinge, swivel at the ankle, and then a toe hinge down here. You also get a set of fists. Now, both sets of hands are going to have the nail area colored in, sort of a gray purple, almost like a charcoal purple in a way. He does come with the Future Foundation book here, as well as the reading glasses, right? And those just kind of sit right in the notch that is above the nostrils. You'll see the porting system for the tail, so the tail will just pop on right there. And then, of course, you do get the bendy wire tail, which, thankfully, because if this was just a static tail, I think that would be a little bit disappointing. But at least now you have a little bit more playability with this. Not to mention, it can certainly help with your standing. The wings will port in like other Marvel Legends that have portable wings. You see the port hole, the port, and then they just plug right in. Here's a look at each of your wing types. So you have the sort of folded and then the more open. Now the open does have the color in there, the closed does not. You could argue that that is a different era situation or maybe just a lapse, but I do think that comes down to a lot of aesthetic, right? Some people are going to want the color difference. Others are going to want something that matches a little bit more. Two different options, right? This is going to take up a lot of space. This is the option that I will be going with because I do think it just adds a little bit more of a displayable element, right? These still look really good. You get the paint at the tip of the wing there. I mentioned the wash in there earlier, so it really comes down to your preference for your wings. For comparison, here he is next to a Hulk to show you a larger character, and then here he is next to Mr. Fantastic to give you an idea of how he's going to look with your Fantastic Four figures. So you could see, I mean, Dragon Man absolutely lives up to the hype of the size and weight of this figure. He is dominating the Hulk at the moment. And here he is with Sauron. I just wanted to see another figure with a large wingspan just to give you an idea. Now Sauron also has some size to him, some height for sure. He also has this very wide wingspan, right? You can see. I mean, folks, so there you have it. There is your Marvel Legends Dragon Man, the first of the made-to-order projects for the Marvel Legends team. So we've sort of moved on from HasLabs. No confirmation of that, but In the meantime, this is where we're going, right, with these made-to-order projects, and I am absolutely on board with it. I feel like a lot of people are. It makes sense, right? You have this project, you know not everybody else is going to be backing it. You make the amount that people order, everybody goes home happy. So I, for one, am for sure absolutely a fan of these made-to-order projects. Dragon Man was a good first start, and I am seriously looking forward to these Sentinels in just a couple of months' time. We've got this really beautiful figure. He's got some weight to him. He's big, he's massive, he's going to take up a lot of space. I need to dig out some space and reconfigure the shelf. I said already, though, that is a good problem to have, so I'm looking forward to that. Kind of re-energizing the life of a shelf, right, and starting over. Chief complaint on this is the center of gravity, right? It seems to be very difficult to find. Eventually I found it, but he is absolutely top heavy, and that's to be expected. You have these big wings, he's already a big figure, he's got a big head. Center of gravity is difficult on this one. Now that may just be mine, let's call it user error if we want, but if I have to find something, that's where I'm leaning. Otherwise, this is a beautiful and grand, great figure that I am absolutely 100% happy with. And if you are waiting for it, I think you will be too. Anyway, folks, that's the 2 cents. I appreciate you checking out the video. Of course, you can always find me on any of these socials down here. Most importantly, though, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. And until next time, take it easy.